Hello and welcome to another season of Niagara Purple Eagles hockey. My name is Jeremy White. I serve as play-by-play voice with a host of others, including Paul Hamilton. And we're here to preview the upcoming season with you, prepare you for the names you need to know, and visit with Niagara head coach Dave Burkholder, who's here 15 years now as head coach of the Purple Eagles. Where's the time gone?
Yeah, good question. My wife and I talk about that a lot, but yeah, it's home for me. It's been it's been great for my family. They've grew up here on campus and in the university community, but to be able to guide them into the future, and it's exciting for us.
Well, the roster looks exciting to start the season. I saw 9th in the preseason poll, but we both know that where you're picked at the top or at the bottom, I mean, these preseason polls are kind of tough to predict, but will you use something like that as motivation, or do the players look at that and give any credence to it?
Yeah, I know we talked about it with our captains, and they weren't happy with it, but it is what it is. I mean, we did this to ourselves with our season last year. So, yeah, but there's no one inside our program or inside that locker room that thinks we're ninth place team in Atlantic hockey.
What do you think will be the biggest difference between last year's team and this year's team?
Well, we're a year older. You know, last year was a young squad. I think we're a year older, and we have 4 captains, which I think, with the mob mentality, I think those 4 guys will be able to lead us in the right direction, make sure we're doing the right things, not only on the ice and in the weight room, but, in the classroom and in the community. So I think we're going to lean heavily on our 4 leaders.
And you'll be a lot healthier, too. Injuries last year, especially with your forward ranks and your scorers, Robert Angelella and TJ Sarcona, they'll both be together in the lineup, presumably this year, on the same ice surface, which didn't happen too often for you last year.
No, and those 2 guys, they're the stick. TJ Sarcona is our spark plug, as we call him often. He's our best two-way forward. We kind of go offensively as he goes. If he can stay healthy, that's a good thing for us. And it doesn't happen a lot in college athletics, but we made TJ a captain after his freshman year. So that shows you how much we care about him as a staff. And then Rob Angelella was on pace for a 30-point season as a freshman, but the injuries, prevented him from doing that. So if those 2 stay healthy and play a lot of games for us, we're going to score a lot of goals.
You've got line mates up on those top lines with them. Albin Carlson returns. He had a pretty impressive freshman campaign, I think. You saw a lot of the spark that he can bring, and also Tanner on that as well.
Yeah, Albin broke his wrist in the North Dakota trip, took a slap shot in the wrist, and so we missed him for the end of the season and playoffs. But he's been the talk of training camp, one of the talks in training camp, and was one of our most dynamic player in the exhibition game this past Saturday against Wilfrid Laurier University. So Albin, obviously his speed is a factor. Mm-hmm. We think he's one of the fastest players in Atlantic hockey, so he's a key. And Tanner Lomsness is coming in with a very good junior career. We refer to him as maybe a late bloomer. But someone saw something in him. He went to Dallas Stars NHL development camp this past summer, and all reports that we have gotten from the Dallas scouts is that he fit in and looked pretty good.
Let's talk about some of your returning junior class. We mentioned TJ Sarcona, but the rest of the class, as you see them grow from second year to third year, is that where you tend to see the biggest jump over a 4-year stretch?
Yeah, we're hoping so. Someone like Steve Petrobon, is he ready to make the next step? We have him currently on our second line. And on our, we have 2 power play units. I don't want to label him 1 or 2, but he's on 1A or 1B, if you will. And we're hoping he takes the next step and produces offensively more. He's a great two-way player. He's a great penalty killer. He's, if we're protecting a lead, he's on the ice in the D zone with a minute to go. So he does a lot of good things. We're just hoping his offense picks up for us this year. So he's a big factor too.
On the back end, you have Vince Muto in that same boat. Sophomore season, injury was a big issue. As a freshman, you saw big things out of him, and here you come, junior season. What should fans expect to see out of Vince Muto?
Well, if he's healthy, he's one of the best defensemen in our league for sure, and maybe even college hockey when he's going. He was all freshman as a rookie, and then got hurt last year. We can't really evaluate his season last year because of injury. When you miss 2.5 months of being on the ice, being around the guys, training, when he came back, he was spinning his tires for a bit, but I think the fans that we were Saturday, he had a goal and 2 assists against Laurier in our exhibition game, was the best player on the ice.
I think you've had a knack of identifying good defensemen that can come in right away and play for 4 years. If you look back at the last however many years of your program, you have a lot of defensemen that have played all 4 years.
Yeah, and it's, that's a selling point. Like, if you come to Niagara, you have a chance to play as a young guy, and that's not the case in athletics, and certainly not in college hockey. But yeah, we're going to put our best 6 in there, and most guys know that if they come in and the transition is seamless to our pace and our strength level that's necessary, they're going to be able to play. We're going to let them play.
What's the situation in that? Jackson Tycaro returns at the end of last season. A lot of fans saw him play very well, including into the playoffs.
His best hockey was at the end of last year, same as freshman year. thought he really excelled in the playoffs. We would not have beaten Holy Cross in that 2 out of 3 series on the road without Jackson. He's not healthy yet, but when he comes back, he's going to be given the nat. I think he's earned that the last 2 seasons, and we'll see if he can run with it.
And you've got the typical trips to Michigan, Cornell, the trip against the development team as well. What would that be like?
Well, we picked up Michigan, which is one of the best environments in all of college hockey, Yost Arena. And then Datton Cole used to coach at Huntsville, called me and said, "Hey, do you want to make it a weekend and stay over and play?" So it's going to be the top draft picks of next year's NHL draft that are USA-born players. So that'll be a test. We don't know which team is. They're both going to be tough games.
Right.
But it's an exhibition game.
Sure.
It'll be good team bonding. We're hoping to take the whole team. If you don't play against Michigan, we'd like to get you in against the national team. So it'll be a good weekend for us.
And then Cornell's another place where you've got a good environment and top-tier college hockey.
You know what, to have Penn State coming here to Dwyer Arena, Big Ten, obviously with their name nationally, and then doing a home and home with Cornell Halloween weekend. Those 2 weekends people have to have circled on their calendars. That's big-time college hockey at Dwyer Arena on our campus.
You're bringing in big programs from out of town into Niagara. You also have a lot of Buffalo and Western New York and Southern Ontario products that are on the team. How important is it for you as a program to continue to pull from the area when filling out your team?
Yeah, I think it's paramount. We'll have 5 Western New York guys on our team on the roster this year, and you know what? I think that's why they started hockey here. Our location is perfect. We can cover Western New York, meaning Rochester, Buffalo. Great hockey, obviously. They're producing NHL superstars. And then just our proximity to Ontario and the Junior League in Toronto, which we feel is one of the best in Canada. So our location is perfect, and but just for a lot of reasons, we stay home in regards to recruiting.
Well, season's about to get started. Road trip and then home for the first time on October 23rd and 24th. You've got to be excited to be home.
Yeah, it'll be nice to get back to the Dwyer. We need to do a better job, I think, protecting home ice. We've done a great job. This is a very hard place to play when we're at the top of our game, and we hope to get back to that this season.
Well, good luck this season.
Thank you.
I'll be with you.
Great, thank you.
Dave Burkholder here. Season starts with a road trip. First home dates here at Dwyer Arena, October 23rd and 24th against Atlantic hockey opponent Robert Morris. For more information, purpleeagles.com, on Twitter, Niagara U Hockey, and of course, always on the web here at purpleeagles.com. Thanks very much. See you this year.